everybody, Pastor Randy here. Welcome to Making It Simple. Hope you're doing great on this beautiful stormy Thursday. Yes, we're right in the midst of a tropical storm. Debbie, Hurricane Debbie, whoever she is, she's coming through and bringing us a little rain, a little wind, but we're all well. So we're going to jump back into our lesson. What is the church? Who is the church? Why does it matter? We left off yesterday kind of with that same concept, that same question, because that's the theme of where we're going. You know, when we think about the establishment, what is the church? Who it involves? Who is the church? Why does it matter? Well, because Jesus said, "I will build my church." Well, what was he speaking of? So why we're looking at this, why this is such a personal message from my heart, not just as a pastor, but as a believer. Because there's a message, friends, not just for us who are listening, but for us who are listening to take to those who are not. Not merely in just sharing this video, which I certainly would hope that you would do, but sharing our story, sharing our faith, coming to that understanding of everybody can have this, okay? It's important in a world of great distraction, and we all have to admit they're there, right? It's important that we not lose focus of how and why what we do was created. Because in this chaotic time that we're in, we hear words in the church world like lost, okay? Now, we equate that oftentimes with not knowing where we are, which is, very disturbing in and of itself. But believe it or not, here's what's worse: not knowing where you're going. You see, when we're not sure where we are, we can find directions. But if I have no idea where I'm going, that's a little more concerning. That's a little more confusing, because then I can't seek an answer to that. Can you tell me where I'm going? Because I don't know. Well, that's where this message steps in. Because Jesus says, apart from me, your eternity is death. Now that sounds morbid. To some, that may even sound mean or hateful. But we have to understand what that divide is for. Why is it there? Why is there a consequence? Well, that's natural law, right? Okay, if there's a consequence for everything, what goes up must come down. You hit your thumb with the hammer, it's going to hurt. God says, I am the way. I am the way. If you don't choose that way, and I don't make you choose that way, you can certainly you don't have to. That's the freedom that we have as his part of his creation. But you have to understand that destination does not lead to the same place as the other. That's just reality, okay? That's just how that works. If I don't accept, if you send me an invitation in the mail to a birthday party or a gathering, a dinner, whatever the case, and I've received that invitation, I've read it, I've opened the envelope, I've read it, maybe even put it on the refrigerator with a magnet. But then the date comes for that event, and I say, you know what? Yeah, I don't feel like messing with that, or I think I'm going to go do something else instead. I then cannot say that I wasn't invited. I can't say that I wasn't welcomed. I can't say that the opportunity to go was not there. Therefore, I have absolutely no realm, reason, right, or anything else to say I'm angry because I didn't get to go. Because that's on me, right? I did that. That's the concept of eternity in very simplistic forms. So we still have a great work to do, friends. We have a tremendous work to do as a whole, as a group, as a call on our lives as believers, because there are many, many souls around us to lead to Jesus. Now, the processes and programs and everything else to do that with can be very divisive. That is why it is important that we understand the simplicity of the gospel message, which is all built out of two words: follow me. Those direct commands from Jesus, that one direct command, I should say, from Jesus, it erases all the things that we create. That is why I want to do this study. That is why I want to take time to not only look at what we are as an establishment, if you will, the church, but what is the meaning of that? And how easily, now we're just coming out of so many different studies that we've done. One that I did independently of the Making It Simple series is the 7 letters to the church in Revelation. I would encourage you to go and listen to that. It's a 7-part series, all located on one playlist right here on this YouTube channel. It will explain everything as to how we can get off course very, very easily, because I want us to understand the enemy, and we all have a common enemy, regardless of the name on the door, the structure or physicality or architecture of the building. We all, if we profess Christ, okay, we all have a common enemy. And he wants to distract us. He wants to divide us. He wants to keep us in chaos at all times so that we don't accomplish the goal that has been set before us, which is go and make disciples. Go and tell people about me. See, friends, we've got to learn to stand fast in our faith and march forward on our journey home. It is absolutely beautiful and wonderful to have a place to gather. All right, we like that. Whether it's a Sunday morning, a Sunday night, Wednesday night, whenever it is that you gather with like-minded people. But that's not what makes up the church. And again, I don't intend to be controversial or turn the wagon upside down. That's not my intent. But we've got to get back to the real basics of what all this is, because I've noticed in my studies, in my, again, taking time to look at different things, man, what a mess we have created. We've got all these different, not only just opinions and views, but we got all these different offerings that are out there, very similar to platforms just like this, where someone is sitting before you, or maybe someone is standing on a high pulpit, or, and again, a variation of ages from young to old alike, and, some that look like me, others that are much older, some that are much younger, some with their hat on backwards, some with their, whatever. And again, it's not about cosmetics or picking on anybody, but the point of it is, it's almost overwhelming. It's an oversaturation that leads the person who knows nothing about any of this or have never heard about Jesus to ask one question, and a fair question: who's right? Who's right? Because this guy's telling me this and this guy's telling me that. Who's right? That is why this is going to be so important as we begin to peel back the layers and get rid of all of that stuff and get back down to the foundation. We talked yesterday about the importance of the foundation. What are we building on? That's the main point of this entire teaching that it's going to be. See, the people that make up what we call the church, that are the part of the gathering, if you will, we are the representatives, not the building. Okay? That needs to be established right to start off with. Those who don't go, those who have nothing to do with the local establishment, if you will, of worship, oftentimes, the people who do go are the reason they don't. Now, I know that sounds harsh, but I'll explain that more in the next lesson, because it is the example that is set. It is the clarity that is placed before others as to who we are, not in name and denominational assignment, but who we are in the representation of who we claim to follow. That is so important as it pertains to others wanting to pursue the understanding of what is the church? Who is the church? And why does this matter? We'll talk more about that on Monday when we come back right here for more Making It Simple. God bless you, friends. We'll see you then.